All right, welcome to one of the most incredible shows that is on the internet right now, and that's ours. I just cannot explain to you how intense things have been over the last 24 hours. Geez, over the last several weeks. But I've just made a video that that is just as intense as anything I've ever done in my life. And I've got some camera work to do, but we'll have time to do that later. So welcome to the Breadcrumbs Project. I am the Breadcrumb, and happy to have you here. Yep, did the music. I'm asking everybody to go watch the video I've just done. It was a request by some friends, but man, some things just started making sense to me making that video. Good morning. Things are a lot more serious right now than they have been all throughout this project analysis, which started with Comet, Swan, and Atlas. I've been, studying stuff from the queue that kind of hit me pretty hard, and then this morning we were asked by some friends to make a video explaining what I saw in the queue a little more in detail, and just to focus on that. So I said, fine, I'll do that. And as I was doing it, a whole bunch of stuff started to make sense to me. And so we're going to be here for a while. But if you go watch that video that I just posted, and I wish that you would, a whole bunch of stuff is making sense to me while I am doing that video. I'm doing it on air. It was a live stream, and literally I was doing an on-air analysis and discovering so many things along the way. So it is a very short video. Let's see. It is 28 minutes long, and it's bomb after bomb, gem after gem, whatever lingo you want to add. But everything that I've been focused in on my part of the queue has suddenly made whole lot of sense. And I mean, it just happened immediately. Literally, your eyes can be closed to something that's right in front of you for a month while you're talking about it, and then suddenly, overnight, you see something that's there that you could have sworn wasn't there. Call it the Mandela effect, if you will. So that happened. Rather than recount everything, I'm probably going to take a 30-minute break here in this live stream and ask everybody that's a live viewer to go watch that video, and then we'll come back and gather. But you have to see what I saw, get my reaction, and then we have something serious to talk about. All right. So good morning. Wow, no one's really chatting in the chat section, and I don't want you to. So please go view, and I'm going to put that in the comments. And I'm typing right now, guys. Let's see. Hey, Kunwar. Uh, the Great Awakening map is it's overwhelming for me. So I can't really speak to it so much because it's just overwhelming for me. So all I could do with that Great Awakening map, and wow, Kunwar, you're familiar with it. Hey, JLT, good morning. Yeah, we love our coffees. Uh, so JLT, I mean, what can you say? What can you say? So let's all go watch that video again. I'm probably going to watch a little bit myself. Uh, Kunwar, yeah, when your eyes are awake to different things in that map, that's the amazing thing about that map. When your eyes are awake to different things, you start seeing different things and you can make the connections like Partha does, like I do. That's how we call ourselves the Breadcrumbs Project. And I'm waiting for a few people to get into the stream before I sign off for a little while so that folks can go watch the video so that we can all talk about the same thing instead of, everybody's like, and it makes sense because of the visit that I had with Partha. What I talk about in the video didn't make lick all sense. But when Partha said the North is important, the North is key, I looked at that map all over again. To me, it's a poster. Why do you call it a map? It's a poster. It's a graphic. But it's the map. It's the map. It's the map, and it has a reference. It has a bearing, and that bearing is north. All right, guys, go watch the video. I'm going to put up a screen and some music, and we'll be right back in this. I have a new camera, a whole new camera angle. I'm very excited about it. Better quality, and look at my hair thinning and my COVID cut. All right. So you know what to do, guys. All right, signing off for a bit. All right, sorry to take so long to set up the live stream. We've just been doing a lot of work in the background. Just want to make sure everybody can hear us okay, and that all is good technically. Yep, I see us, Partha. Can everybody hear Partha okay? Say hi, Partha. All right. Let's see. Let's grab that. Um, Hold on, Partha. Just making one adjustment here. That. That. I don't think they can hear you. All right, talk now, Partha.
Hi,
Okay.
Charles. Good.
All
Hi,
right.
friends.
Partha is bad. All right. Now you're good. All right. So now, hi guys. Things are moving fast. Uh, I think everything's good now. Bringing Partha in, just let me know how the sound is. I had a very powerful video that I made earlier. I'm asking everybody to go look at it before you jump on the stream right now, because the Q map has made sense to me. And Partha was like, "Oh yes, I saw it 2 years ago. I know about all of this." I was like, why are you telling me about this? Partly because it just made sense to me. So without further
Yes,
delay,
I was wondering, Charles, which map you were talking about. When I went to the video, immediately I called you because I wanted to tell you I know this.
well, I didn't know, but the important thing is that it made sense to me, Partha. It made sense to me in the sense that um, the northern rise, and especially where we come in our portion, makes sense to me. So, uh, so how are you? First of all,
Yes, I'm doing good, Charles. How about you today?
uh, I'm blown away. I'm not somebody that's blown away like this. It happens in spiritual occasions. So yeah, I'm great. I'm great, but this is just all pretty overwhelming, Partha, to be honest with you. Um,
Hmm.
so I'm just,
It's a sudden
I,
download of divine information for you.
what's that?
It's a sudden download of divine information for you.
Yes, yes. And it's very, very, very powerful indeed. So I'm bringing up the portion of the Q map that I've been talking about, um,
Yeah.
and um, and so go ahead and start, Partha.
Yes. So, can I share my screen?
Absolutely, you can do whatever you want.
Okay, you have to make me the host.
Oh, you want to be the boss again? All of you people so like to be bossy. All right.
In India, boss means Bachelor of Social Service.
I am I am all about social service and a bachelor of one at that. All right, Partha, go ahead.
Somebody in your stream was asking me yesterday when exactly, uh, when exactly we are going to have the flooding, what time. And then I replied to them saying that I'm not in the department of flooding.
I saw that. I remember that was great.
I mean, they're expecting me to be precise to the time, to the second in which EMP will happen.
And to make the adjustment to their time zone, you know. So so many people really don't it doesn't hit them that the world is in time zones. So 3 o'clock for you is not 3 o'clock for them. And no, we don't know the hour, quote unquote. We
We
don't
don't
know.
know the God. I made a video on that. See, even though I'm not a Christian, recently I made a video 2 months back. Nobody knows the hour of the Lord, and also I said I don't know who is the Savior. So those were the titles of the videos.
Right. But boy, and that was kind of funny. You told me yesterday that a bunch of people came from my thread that were trying from my channel that were trying to Christianize you. And that
Yes,
they were trying to explain to you
you.
that you don't really know about Jesus, Partha. Let
No,
me.
they were saying, Partha, you are a good man, you are a good soul, but demons are surrounding you and they are blocking your light.
Uh,
I must, I must, so I must show faith in Jesus.
well, and you do. I mean, you acknowledge Jesus. You give credit where credit is due, especially in the Old Testament, where I don't give any credit whatsoever. So
See, there definitely, there is a train of thought. See, I always approach this with a neutral perspective. So according to me, Jesus is not only Jesus, he is also the Son. Because in the Last Supper of Da Vinci, you have these 12 disciples and Jesus in the center. So he is the 13th one. He is the Ophiuchus sign. He is the center of galaxy. He is the black come white sun.
oh my
So
goodness.
for me, he is Christ. He is the, actually I acknowledge him more. In fact, I say that he is the one, but not in the way people understand it.
Right.
I am saying the one he see when the light happens, when the EMP happens, when the crystal white light comes, it's going to be crystal white light. That's why our sun is, appearing so and so more and more white. For those people who were in the 80s and 90s, like you and me, we remember the sun was yellow and it
Yeah.
was not so blinding. It was not so harsh.
Not at all. No. No. No.
Not at all.
And
Yes.
up to last year, where I live is a place that is just famous for its sunsets. And last summer, I mean, I did so many sunsets, and I tell people, that green cross that you see. Some people call it the Southern Cross, but that's not what it is. But it's that little green flash. I've showed so many people that green flash last year from a yellow sun at sunset. I can't do that anymore. I cannot look at the sun at any point in time, not even at sunset. It's still absolutely blinding with white light.
Yes. And what will happen is, in my research, when Frashokeriti happens or when the Yuga fire comes, so the crystal liquid light, it will just fall. It will just fall, and people are like, they will be blinded by that light. And that is shown in Matrix movie also when Neo meets the architect. I
Yeah.
mean, it has been hinted. It has been hinted many times, anyways.
Yes. And before we go any further, let me acknowledge, as you know, that I too acknowledge Yeshua in his great power, and he called himself the Son of Man. So that's how, and you're shaking your head because over 250 times in the New Testament, when he is speaking of himself, he refers to himself as the Son of Man, and and he wasn't challenged ever by his disciples of that. So that's what he was communicating. And the Son of Man is an important prophet in the Old Testament. And that's why everybody was pissed at him. How dare you call yourself the Son of Man? That is somebody so important in Judaism, and you're just a hippie, as he's portrayed. You're just a hippie, a hippie rabbi with 12 followers. There's 13 of you all. You don't even make the sacred number 12. Go. You're on mute. You're still on mute.
So according to me, Jesus is not just a person, he is also the light. That end of age light or the beginning of the age, it doesn't matter, because at the end of age there is a new beginning of the new age. So when Aries ended, Pisces came, so he came. Now again he will come, obviously. So when Messiah is returning, or we are actually talking about the white light, the crystal white light. And this is actually shown in the precision of equinoxes. So those who are astronomy nerds, those who actually look at all your apps for Polaris, so you would understand this. So
Okay.
Deneb was the pole star in the silver age. So I will start with golden age. So in golden age, Polaris was the pole star. Now actually Polaris is appearing to become the pole star. We are actually quite close. Draco, Grumium is not the pole star now. So that means we are very, very, very close to golden age again. So this is again one. So Grumium in Draco is the pole star. And right now we all know through our apps, through the sky watchers, that Draco is not the pole star. It is Polaris.
I'll be dadgum.
So
right
we are
now,
actually
right now, and it shouldn't be, right?
yes, right now it is.
But it shouldn't be.
And yes, and Polaris are, and Deneb is the pole star during the Silver Age. Then Vega is the pole star during the Bronze Age, and in the Iron Age, Draco is the pole star. So this was shared by Deva, who is actually was watching you from quite some time. He was the one, apart from Angel, who recommended your channel to me.
Wow.
So he gave me this PDF today. So this is also a new picture.
So just to kind of clarify what you've just said, there are people who are very very knowledgeable, very learned, and there was something that I was saying that synchronized with what they know and what their experience. So there was something in what I was saying which triggered a tripwire and made sure that you and I got in touch. Wow.
True. And this again ties in very neatly into this calculation of 25,920 years or 2,160 years per age.
Yes.
So not only are we ending age of Pisces, we are also ending this 25,000 year cycle according to me. According to me, we are ending this 25,000 years, or some people say it is 13,000 years. So that's why pole flip. The poles will flip because it's a half of that. And funnily, I will show you something very interesting which happened today.
Here we go.
I think it's already open. Yes. So this is she is some research scientist, Dr. Jessie Christensen. She said, so I will just open this. Yeah, it's already there. See, and this also got released today, this video. Look at what she is saying. She is saying that it takes about sun 200 million years to orbit the center of galaxy, which means the last time we were here was the start of the Jurassic period. Jurassic period lasted for 55 million years.
Wow.
So she released this yesterday evening or today morning. And so this, the center of Milky Way. So I was showing you that neat animation, 3D animation.
Yes.
So all these things are coming now. See, it went like a comet, by the way. Did you see that?
I did see that. Oh, this is amazing. And look, the dinosaurs that you break down there, that's how I view the dinosaur breakdown. And there's a set of dinosaurs that died off roughly 25,000 years ago. So the last set of dinosaurs that we've had to walk the earth was 25,000 years ago, and that's been proven through carbon dating, which has its flaws, but we still have and these are dinosaur bones that still have soft tissue, that have connective tissue that they've been able to pull DNA from and carbon date, and they go back 25,000 years. And these were samples from all over the planet, not just one place, but several places in the United States that have dinosaurs, in Morocco, and so again, 25,000 years ago was the last time dinosaurs walked the earth, Partha.
Yes, so that is what this is showing. So when Deva forwarded me this the same thing we are seeing in her animation also. Of course, she is saying that, you know, the Earth or solar system was here when dinosaurs were there.
Yes.
So in a way, coming back to that same position.
Yes.
So that is the precision of equinoxes, and it is like around 21 to 27,000 years to be precise, to 2,920 years.
Yes.
And these are in Sanskrit. So Manu Smriti. Manu is nothing, none other than Noah. So what you call as Noah or maybe Enoch, the similar character is there in Indian mythology is Manu. So when the great deluge happened, what happened was Manu was left alone, and then it seems God appeared to him, and seven rishis appeared to him. So seven rishis or nothing but the Ursa Major constellation, and they told him to start the civilization again after the deluge. It is quite similar to Noah's story. So this is all in Sanskrit anyways, and these are all the calculations. So I don't want to go deep into this, but I can tell you only this portion. You can see that the golden age is 4,800 years, the silver age is 3,600, the bronze age is 2,400, and the dark age is 1,200 years only.
Wow.
And these combined together to become 12,000 years, and that we are ending that 12,000 year cycle.
Guys, I mean, let me tell you, if you can go back up there, that's how I view in those age breakdowns is how I view archaeology. My passion is archaeology. My absolute total passion is archaeology, but I have to feed myself and I have to make money, so I never became an archaeologist. That's why I stayed in IT. But your breakdowns are exactly how I view the archaeological strata, and I argue with noted archaeologists because no, everything's 4,000 years ago. Everything that the pyramids were built 4,000 years ago. Everything that happened in India that's amazing was 4,000 years ago. Everything is 4,000 years ago, so that it can fit right into their Iron Age.
True. So this is the actual calculation. So many people erroneously they calculate, in millions and billions of years and all that. But this is how the cycle completes. So every 12,000 years, because this ties neatly into the shifting of the pole star. So I tend to go with this because the God year and all that is in millions of years. So I don't go by that. I go by the human years. So human years 4,800, 3,600, 2,400, 1,200. And now we are again going back to the 4,800 years. So whenever this is also called as axial precision. So this is what I was showing you just now. So this is rotational axis, precision of the equinoxes. So this is the hypothesis, which scriptures also say is that every 12,000, 13,000 years, there is this great flash. Of course, the flash also happens in the end of every age. I mean, every 2,160 years. But I am saying is that this 2,160 years and 12,000 years are combining right now. So that is what I keep saying, cycle within cycle. So there is one small cycle which is ending. There is also one very big cycle also ending, the 12,000 year cycle.
That also works with the Mayan calendar. The Mayan calendar is a cycle within a cycle.
And I wanted to tell one more thing which is slightly unrelated, but when I was reading Mahabharata, I read that in Satyuga there was no concept of marriage. There was a lot of live-in relationships, and there was also in the golden age, a person can simply walk up to a woman and say that I want to live with you, and woman would walk away with him. And this was happening so regularly that there was one guy called Shweta Ketu. Shweta Ketu means white comet. By the way, that name means white comet.
Wow.
So no, one man, one woman. Let's not have multiple women and multiple men. But in golden age, there were no restrictions. There was no concept of contracts or marriages and then Britney Spears kind of thing. You marry today, then tomorrow you go to court. No such thing was there in golden age.
Right.
Golden age was like free for all.
Right, and that goes with the story of Adam and Eve, that when they ate of the tree of knowledge, they instantly knew that they were naked, and they knew that sexuality became absolutely apparent to them. Whereas before it was, like you say, a free for all. Wow, there's such synchronicity in all the religions, Partha. It's amazing.
Yes, because see, that is the story of golden age. In golden age, the restrictions, the rules were less, and also the truth was simple. The truth was not complicated. You did not require, like, you see that how bills are passed in parliament, like in Senate and House of Representatives in US.
I did it for many years of my life. Yes, many years.
Yeah, so you have 1200 pages to explain one act.
Right. It's
I mean, what hell? So that nobody should understand it, or what?
Yeah, no. What legislation starts out like is nothing what it ends up like. You start out with a simple mouse, and it ends up being a dragon at the end of it, and it's a process we call making sausage. And
that is why it's called Draconian Act, because Draco was the pole star in the Dark Age.
Wow.
Draconian laws, draconian this, draconian that.
Yeah.
Dracula, this Dracula and that those things. So all these references are related to Iron Age.
That's how I see it. That is, you're right. For all of my study of archaeology and history, and like you have to argue with many academics, I have to argue with many academics in my pursuits of passion, and you explain history just like I see it.
Yes, Charles. So continuing with this, so we are approaching Polaris. And one more thing, like, I decoded today, was that why Krishna said that he is Vega in Mahabharata. So Krishna said that obviously because Vega was a pole star in during that time in the Bronze Age. And similarly, one more decoding which I could do today was Deneb was the pole star during the Silver Age, and Deneb is in Cygnus. Deneb is in Cygnus, and what is Cygnus? We have discussed this Swam.
Again, yes, again Cygnus.
And it is the Pushpak Viman, which I also showed in one of my previous videos. In one of my previous videos, I showed that. See?
Yep.
So Rama, who was actually the avatar during the Silver Age or the Treta Yuga, he traveled back to his town after defeating the Titan King. He went back in Swan, and that is why Deneb is the pole star during the Silver Age. So Rama was from Silver Age, Krishna is from Bronze Age. So everything is neatly tied. Everything is neatly tied.
Yeah, and now we're going into a golden age.
Yes.
Very neatly tied.
See, this was the news today. NASA scientist shows dinosaurs wandered on Earth when it was on the other side of Milky Way. Okay, so coming back to our magnetosphere. So yesterday we were talking about how the magnetic field is weakening. So one thing which we need to understand is that the Earth, on the Earth there are different spheres, like troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, ionosphere, magnetosphere, all these layers of atmosphere. So because the magnetosphere is weakening, we all know that aurora borealis and all this happens in the north, because that is the North Pole vortex or vertex. So the energy or the light comes through the North Pole. So what happens when the magnetic field weakens? Obviously the density of the atmosphere goes down. That is why we have different clouds. So you have one set of clouds, then you are very strangely you see that there is another set of clouds above it. There are some cirrus clouds, then there is another set of clouds. You get confused what is happening. And as you recently noticed that the sun moved towards north. The reason being, so there is the perceived position, true position, those kind of things are diminishing. So now the true position is being observed because of refraction. So we all know about refraction. So this is basic physics, right? So obviously when, see, the light bends. So this is what even Einstein talked about ether initially. Then he said, no, there is no such thing as ether. It is gravitational lensing and all. So it is not gravitational lensing or anything of that sort. It is refraction, simple physics. So because of the layers of atmosphere, that is why stars seem to be in a different position. We have the parallax effect and all. So now the sun is actually seen in its true position. So it is appearing towards the north.
All right, Partha,
And the,
can I just say this real quick? You
so
are
because
so damn smart, Partha. You are just so dadgum smart. Gosh. All right, sorry, go
so
ahead.
yes, every 12,000, 13,000 years. So this is again, I don't know if it is there in any science textbook, but I would prophesize, or I would state humbly that something happens with our magnetosphere. So this is where the divine steps in. So we can no longer be into the science realm anymore. So what actually happens is Hebrew or her web, which I was telling you in our private chat, I am telling it public also. So Hebrew is one of the oldest and ancient languages, just like Sanskrit. And as I was saying humbly again, according to me, God is a she, it's not a he. And she or her, she created a he. I mean, he was a latent potential force. So there was a primordial chaos. So that is a she. So God is a goddess actually. And she already had the masculine part inside her. She gave birth to him. And that is the lingam or the Jyotirlingam or pillar of light. So that is how she created. So that's why you see earth is round. And then in that you have the pole, which is the masculine part. So entire universe is female. It is her web. Hebrew is nothing but her web. So what happens is every few thousand years, the her web, the magnetosphere and all the spheres, they weaken. The magnetic fields weaken. And when they weaken, the lights, the aurora borealis, the comets, the EMPs, the true position of stars. So that is why, Charles, when you made that video about Venus becoming brighter, this is the reason. The stars appear to be brighter.
They do.
Venus to be brighter. This
Absolutely.
is because the atmosphere is getting diluted, it is getting weakened. So the web will be removed, the illusion or the veil will be removed, and the lights will come in.
Wow. Wow, 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 Partha. Yeah, that's everything that you are saying. It all matches up. I cannot find a way to argue with you. I do not have it in
Actually,
my
Charles, I'm doing the impossible task of marrying the science and scriptures.
But yeah, but when you have the knowledge base, it's not so difficult, is it? It's difficult explaining it. You've got it clear in your head because you've done the work to do it. And Partha, I keep making the point, and I don't know if you've heard it. It takes 25,000 hours to become an expert in anything, and
Yes.
so you've dedicated more than 25,000 hours to it. So you are the expert doing a master's thesis before the world. Um, but no, everything that you've gone off to my scientific and network engineering mind, and you and I have asserted our authenticity in the IT field, which is a very, very, very narrow view of science and technology.
Yes.
By using the word ping, I'll ping you later. That's what IT guys tell each other. Um, so we're authenticated on a level of knowledge and expertise, technologically speaking. We also have backgrounds in the electrical field. We also have backgrounds in most of the ancient religions. Yours is just way deeper and better than mine in all of those.
Yes. And this year there was a news that the Arctic ozone hole was massive. It opened and it closed. Let me tell to our viewers one very important thing, that ozone hole is actually a big psyop. It's a psychological operation. There is no such thing as ozone hole. There is no ozone depletion. Global warming is a hoax. Global warming, Al Gore. Al Gore was the one who actually said global warming and all that. I'm making a very strong statement.
You're right.
Gore, Al Gore, Al Gol. I'll show you. So there is a constellation called Al Gol. And on 20th May in Bangalore, we heard a sound when Atlas went near Al Gol. This is that star, Algol in Perseus. Algol, Perseus, Atlas. Everybody knows this. I have already made a video on May 7th. Algol is the demon star. So in Kali Yuga, in the dark ages, lot of lies and fabrications will be told to the mankind. And one of the biggest fabrications or lies is global warming.
It is.
It is not global warming. Al Gore, see the name also matches.
Yeah, it
Al
does.
Gore,
Al
Al
Gore.
Gore. And when 20 years back I saw his video, I said, wow, he's a champion of humanity. He is talking about, global warming. Such a great, pious soul he is.
Okay. And at the time that you were saying that, I was saying, this man is full of shit. What a complete and utter fabrication. And I had the scientific data because I've been studying stuff, and the stuff that he was saying that the temperatures are going to go up. I was like, no, we're actually having a drop in temperature, and but man, the lies like and you've heard it said before, the lie will make its way halfway across the world before the truth can even put its pants on in the morning. Mark Twain's very famous saying, Samuel Clemens. Wow, Partha, that's funny. Go, and you're on mute.
No, I was laughing so heartily, so I didn't want. Yeah. So Atlas went near Al Gore on 20th May. That is why we heard a sonic boom here in Bangalore, India, a huge sonic boom. And that sonic boom is not going to stop. It's only going to increase in the intensity. And all these people who have been telling us lies since last 20, 30 years about global warming. So that is why, we have this Nibiru thing and so many people talking about so many things. Even those are not truths. They are half truths. The real truth is that light is coming, atmosphere is weakening, the magnetic fields are weakening, and the light is coming. That is the actual truth. But yes, it people talk about Nibiru and then so many other things. Maybe Pleiadians are coming with their spaceships. That is why the clouds are becoming. I mean, it's okay. You can believe in UFOs. You can believe in all that stuff, but that is not the actual reason for these anomalies in the position of sun, at least.
Okay.
I mean, Pleiadians cannot go and change the position of sun, isn't
No.
it? It's common sense.
No.
Even if are coming, that's fine. I mean, I'm all for aliens. I will do my namaste to aliens.
Yeah.
But aliens cannot change the position of sun.
No.
Aliens cannot Venus, sparkle brighter than it usually is.
But if you look at it from an electrical perspective, Partha, what you're describing is a capacitor building up a charge. So
Yes.
the cycle of the solar system and how we go, theoretically speaking, we could be building up a massive charge on the sun. And in that process, it's draining our magnetosphere, and
Yes.
and
Yes.
and
Yeah,
then
all are interlinked.
and
Yes,
then
true.
and then finally it gives off. It gives
True.
off its charge. The capacitor gives off its electrical charge, and then everything's normal for another cycle of buildup.
Yes. So coming back, with all humility, I'm saying there is no such thing as ozone hole over Antarctica or over Arctic. That is not the ozone hole. That is the weakening of the magnetosphere.
Okay.
So whenever magnetosphere weakens, then what happens is these apparent holes are created, and that is where the light pours in from the sun. So it was detected North Pole's ozone layer. See?
Yeah.
They are telegraphing. They are telling us. It's just that we are not catching it. North Pole's ozone layer. I mean, tell me something. For the last so many 20, 30 years, we have been hearing about Antarctica's ozone hole.
Yeah.
Suddenly, this year they are talking about North Pole's ozone layer. Why?
Because
Suddenly,
because
I
it's
am
collapsing.
like Charles. I am a space junkie, and I have been researching this like day in day out, and suddenly, I mean, I never heard of an ozone hole on North Pole.
No.
And this year they suddenly say, no, it was always there. It's just that maybe we did not inform you.
And how long did it take the Indian Air Force to tell you that it was actually a jet that made all those 5 second noises? How
Yes,
long?
that was 20 hours. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
We have to read between the lines.
Sure.
Last, European Union's Copernicus Atmosphere Monitoring Service announced that a hole in the Arctic ozone layer, believed to the biggest reported, has been closed. Who told them? And why are they telling us that it is closed? It is not closed. Don't be under any false illusion. When they say that after 50 years or maybe after 100 years, a comet may hit you and the life may go away, all people will die. Don't believe them. And if they say that the ozone hole has opened, ozone hole has closed, I mean, what kind of hole is that?
Yeah.
We have this. I stopped shaving for some time because they said aerosols they create.
Yes.
Yeah, you
Yes.
remember that,
I remember
right? In
that. I remember
90s.
that. I remember that bullshit. Oh, I remember that bullshit bad. Even as a kid, I was so skeptical about that. I was like, how is my sister's hairspray, which is disgusting, gonna put a hole in the South Pole? It just doesn't make sense. It's we call it the Chewbacca defense, which is when that Star Wars movie when Chewbacca lived with the Ewoks. Why is a grown 7 foot Ewok going to live with little tiny, you know, with little tiny Chewbaccas? How's he going to find a wife? How can you party with little tiny things like that? It doesn't make sense. So the Chewbacca defense, no, all that stuff has just never made sense to me. Al Gore and that bullshit, because I've always had the science to prove otherwise.
Yeah, chlorofluorocarbons. They are called CFCs.
CFCs, yep, I remember that.
They had this. What is that agreement? Warsaw Agreement, Paris Agreement, this agreement, that agreement. All the countries come together at one place to discuss nothing. They say, your shaving cream has CFC, your refrigerator has CFC, and it goes up in the sky, and somehow it breaks down ozone into oxygen, and that is why ozone hole is created. But 50 years back, there were people were not using those foams for shaving.
No, no. Oh, that's so funny. Yay. Oh, wait a minute. Read the rest of it. The ozone hole's closing was because of a phenomenon called a polar vortex. What the fuck bullshit is that? Sorry to keep cussing, guys, but I'm at my wits' end. And not because of reduced pollution levels due to COVID lockdowns around the world, reports said. What? Poppycock. What utter absolute dribble. That makes no science. How? I mean, that's just stringing along words. That's pop culture, just strung along. Just pop culture, pop culture, pop culture. Boom, makes you feel good. What a load of utter rubbish. Sorry. All right, go Partha. Unmute yourself. I saw you laughing.
Yes, I mean they have been shoving down dribble down our throats, and we have been listening to it. We have been listening to it, and they use all these words. But one good thing is, like a swan, I can remove the milk from the water. I can remove weeds from this crop. So
Sure.
I am closely observing the words. Okay, polar. I get it. They are warning us. They're telling about North Pole. They're talking about weakening. See, they talked about this on when was this? This was in April 28. And magnetosphere, that news came yesterday,
Yeah.
almost 1 month later.
Yeah. I mean, this is psyops. It's coming from obscure sources that can't be really interviewed, and it hits small market or other countries, and then it gets picked up into the American news if it makes it at all. But it's absolutely a complete psychological psyops of dropping gems.
And see this hole in the North Pole detected in February, but we are informing you on April 29th.
Yes. What a load of I mean, it's just yeah, and they have to make justifications for some of the science people are seeing. That could be made up of whole cloth. that absolutely is made up of whole cloth, quite frankly. So scientists are seeing something, and they look to their seniors uh, for guidance, and they get it, and then they just go along in their ignorance.
True. So
All right.
that is what, yeah. So the ozone holes and all, we all see. And again, see, this is where, see, the ozone hole is not really a hole. They're actually telling you, but you, as a common man, you'll think, oh yeah, it's a hole, but it's not a hole. It is not because of CFCs, but it is not because of pollution. And then you see, it's not really a hole. It refers to a region in the stratosphere where the concentration of ozone becomes extremely low in certain months. Why? You said just now, you said it is due to pollution or lack of pollution in certain months. The ozone holes are mostly common talked about depletions or Antarctica,
Yep.
but it is over the North Pole. Such holes are also spotted. Also, they see, I'm a writer. I write stuff, so I know when certain words are used. Are
Yes.
also spotted over North Pole, but owing to warmer temperatures than the South Pole, depletions here are much smaller in size. Before the last time we saw this was in 2011. Reported. Who reported? What reported? We don't know.
We have no idea.
We have no idea. They say 2011 because nobody will go back to 2011 and verify that, right? There was no internet anyways. That much Google and all this was not there.
No. All right, Partha, I want to get your reaction on on what I've been talking about. So,
Yes.
are
Yes.
you at a good stopping point?
Yes. So you can share your screen,
I will try to do that.
or I will go to the live stream myself. I will see if you. Uh, so I will make you the presenter.
Okay. I'm not very good at Zoom, guys.
I don't know
And
how, but anyways, I'll try my best.
all right.
I'm going to your channel. I'm going to live. First, I will see that.
Have you made me host?
Sharing. I will stop sharing
All right.
and let me see if I can make you the presenter. So how do I do that, Charles?
By the participants.
Participants, okay. Yes, I got you. More. Make host. Yes, I made you the host.
I'm the boss again.
Yes, you are the boss.
All right.
Go do your thing, Charles, and I will react. So just before you do that, I wanted to tell one very small thing very quickly. I will
Sure.
get back to. It's just that, as I was telling you in private, that all the letters, they are all related to the constellations. And English letters, the original is Hebrew or Harweb. And
Okay.
so A is Ashwini, B is Bharani, Q means Anuradha. Anuradha is a constellation in Scorpio zodiac, and it is related to lightning or thunder.
Okay. Oh, yes, right. Yes. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. All right. So here's
You
what
can do your thing now. You can share your screen and you can do your thing. Yes.
I think I've got it. Let's see. All right. So let me make an adjustment here in the background. Um, now transition over so you guys can see. And this is what I said in my video yesterday, Partha. I mean, this morning. Basically, we've been calling this the Q map, and Partha is going to be chatting, and so he'll add as he can. So they've been calling this a Q map. I see it as poster board, but if you want to call it a Q map, you can call it a Q map. It never made sense to me until Partha instructed me on how important the North was. The North is the most important thing. So the biggest font in the Q map is the letter Q. And what surrounds the Q, I don't know. I don't know what surrounds that. It doesn't make any sense to me. But then if you go straight north of the Q is the secret space program. All right? And by everything you've just said, Partha, there is a secret space program going on. And that secret space program uh, operates very well funded, and very secretive. But then there's the popular space program, the public space program, which is NASA, JPL, and all those guys, and they weave those wonderful web of lies that we've been enjoying and misinforming us, because the secret space program knows what's going on and just can't say anything yet. Okay, and then we go to the Great Awakening. All right, the Great Awakening keeps going north from in this process, and the Q, which is the base of all of what we understand, but is not the truth. Well, I mean, but is not the whole truth. It's just a part of it. Is to in its program. It is also awaiting the Great Awakening. Um, and this is when we go from 3D to 5D, which again doesn't make sense to me, but all of the ancient religions speak of it. And the age of Aquarius, the Hopi, the fifth age, um, and on and on. And then you just go north of the Great Awakening. Center north is the Great Solar Flash. All right, and this is the culmination of this map that points north. Um, and if we can zoom into that area, all right, we are in the Great Solar Flash area, and I'm going to focus right here. The Great Solar Flash occurs, like Partha said, every 25,000-ish years, guys. So the science that Partha brings independently is mapping with this great map, which Partha is aware of. He didn't want to spend 28 minutes to watch my silly video because he already knew what I was going to say. But no, Partha, this is what I was saying in my video. Um, so the Great Solar Flash right here goes exactly hand in glove with what you are saying, Partha. And consciousness renaissance, ascension into the fifth dimension, the fifth age, the golden age, the age of the golden race. The Q says they're done by the 29th. So by the 28th, they expect this to happen, is what I think. And guys, in this whole area, there's a bunch of stuff that involves Indian understanding, Hinduism. So Hinduism is merging at the very top of this great event. All right. So here is the sacred geometry, the flower of life, an end to all suffering, collective consciousness, mass meditation. I do yoga. I think that's really cool. I get it, but it's not going to happen. Oh, a great solar flash is going to happen and cause all of this. The solar system passes through geometric boundaries, which is everything you've been talking about, Partha. Dense energy cloud, raising vibration and consciousness, cause sun to release flashes. 3D becomes 5D. 5D. We become collective consciousness. Get ready for that. Consciousness renaissance. All right. So this square is the square that I've been talking about, and so I want to bring that square in and focus in on that, because there's things in this square are going to make a lot of sense to you, Partha, that make zero sense to me. All right, so we're going to zoom in on it because we can, and we have to. So this square is all I've been talking about. I've got a couple of videos on it, and the reason it got my attention was because of mental and spiritual states. When Atlas and Swan came into being, I just had a lot of powerful feelings, and one of my things is don't be scared. Practice mental and spiritual faith. This calls it states, but I was saying, grasp your faith, pray, and everybody that's in this thread knows that's what I've been saying. Don't be afraid, pray, get closer to whoever your fundamental belief of who the creator is, get close to that. And so that's what I saw. This was like, yes, that's it. And then of course these two arrows go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Practice meditation, compassion, forgiveness for all beings. What have I been saying? Think good thoughts, do good deeds, say good things. And I've also been saying independently for the last 6 months that every historical religion has a synchronicity. And here it says in this square that's been written for a whole hell of a long time before I started thinking it, and individually and independently, Partha has been saying the same thing. Prophesied in every historical religion. What is prophesied in every historical religion? And here comes the things that Partha just said in our stream: the fires, Acropsis, Frash Koredi, which I really don't understand what that means, but Partha I'm sure does. So these are Hindu beliefs that tie into the Q and the Q map, and it all comes from the great solar flash, which is the culmination of the Q. Look to the sky, look above. Um, and the survivors of the great solar flash will depend upon their mental and spiritual states. I did not see that, the great solar flash. I have been looking at the square, ignoring that one part. And I told Partha, and he said, "Oh, that's your area of blindness." Okay, Partha, you knew it, I didn't, but he knows that you have areas of blindness that occur until it's your time to say what you have to say. So the survivors are going to be the people that are us, that are ready for it, that are ready to prostrate ourselves, that are not going to freak out when it starts happening. Okay, breathless. And all of this depends on the sun, which Partha and I have just spent the last hour talking about. The great solar flash, conscious living being. The sun is a conscious living being. All right, I can buy into that. And all of us have souls, right? We are souls that inhabit a body, and then we die. We go to the great white light. That's what people that have had that have come back to life after having a near death experience. They said, yeah, the great white light, and I was told to go to the white light, and there were family members calling me there, and then all of a sudden I had to come back. They said, it's not your time. You have to go back, and boom, you come back. Soul, soul. Add a U to this word soul, people, and that's where that blew me away today. The cosmic web exists. It's called. It is done through electricity and the fourth state of matter, which is something that we really have a hard time understanding, and that's plasma. The plasma that exists throughout the universe. If you look at the plasma's connections through the galaxies, it looks exactly like neurons. So you just add a U to Sol, which is also said soul, and bam, that's my great awakening. So guys, I believe more than ever that there is going to be something that in fact happens. All right, um, and it's just due to all of this stuff that is not coincidental whatsoever. So there we are. That is what I see, and this is the Q map, and I can explain what I can explain. So I've got five more minutes before I have to go to work and get ready for my next appointment. Uh, I didn't see any trolls. Sorry, guys.
Yes, Charles, there are quite a few. Actually, I'm sorry, they come from my channel. What they do is they abuse the giver. I've been giving I've been giving freely, and instead of doing independent investigation, they simply debunk me.
Yes,
I mean, I am the one, Q is the one, you are the one. We are trying to bring the truth free of
absolutely.
cost. I mean, what's the problem? We have not given any invitation card to anybody, as
No.
I say on my channel.
Wow. 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 Kunwar, I'm answering a question. Yeah, we are now sharing trolls. I've sent you my trolls, and you've brought your trolls. Well, great. And like I keep saying, I don't care about trolls. I've got great mods. They take care of the family. They take care of the pack, and they don't allow pack. They don't allow people to attack the pack, and that is great. Charles Kunwar is asking a very important question. Please explain to us how you know about the queue ending the 29th. I personally don't know about it. That comes from my co-host, who I don't know who he is. Um, Everybody knows him as Epic, Epic Forever. He can speak to that, but he's the one that has let me know, and I've had a person from the queue, um, who's loosely associated through the Hollywood connection, um, acknowledge that the 29th is the end of time for Q. All right, so we'll have to wait for Epic to be able to tell us how he is aware of that. You can do your own research, Kunwar. There's a lot of Q people out there, and I encourage you to do it. So thank you. I couldn't be here right now. I couldn't explain this portion if it wasn't for a very important piece of the puzzle. And like I told Partha a couple of conversations ago, I knew through my third eye connection that I was looking for a man from India, and it first happened to be an Indian from American India, and that is the Hopi that caused me to start my breadcrumb path. And I had an Indian who we were talking to, who is like a Christian is to a Jew, who doesn't believe the old stuff, and doesn't really believe in lingam. They do what they do for ritual purposes, but he didn't understand the purpose of lingam, that it points to the north and the spirituality of it. He just understands, the ancient tradition and doesn't buy into it. But it's what his family does. But then, boom, I run into Partha. Partha was called to my channel by people that he respects, uh, that I don't have time to get into. Um, but he was called to the channel, and he was starting to feel the synchronicity. And then when he got the synchronicity of what I was saying, especially the Venus being bright, then he started dropping his gems, boys. And here we are. All right. I am wrapping this up. I have to go to work. I got to pay the bills, people. Um, Even after the Great Awakening, there still have to be bills to pay, and we're gonna have to eat stuff. So here we are. I come back. I'm not sure when I come back. Probably about 3 or 4 hours. If you have any questions, go look at my video that I made this morning, answering questions from friends, requests from friends. And then Partha, you have the floor here on the chat. Um, if a mod is leaving, realist, let me see. Kunwar,
I think realist is still there.
yeah, Kunwar, I'm making you a mod. Congratulations. And and I'm not going to make you a mod, Partha, because you don't want to be the bad guy. All right, wrap it up, Partha.
Yes, wonderful image that you are showing, Charles. This I saw last year. As I was saying, Deva showed me this. So this all ties into that 25,900 year cycle. And in fact, there was a small mistake which happened in year 2011 when everybody thought 2012 it is for the end of Mayan calendar, also 25,000 year cycle. It was not 2012. 2012 was actually end of one particular part of the Mayan calendar, It was not, December 21st, 2012 was not that end of 25,000 year cycle. So that is going to happen very soon. So as Q is saying 2019 to 2023, we are expecting it sooner than that. And 28 date I am giving basis purely on astrology. Astrology, as I said earlier, Comet's Atlas is going near Pleiades. It is going near Kritika. Kritika means fire. Kritika also means golden age.
Wow.
Because during the golden age, Kritika was the main star. It was the first star. So Pleiades. So that is the basis of my prediction. It is not that much astronomical. So as I said, astronomy, I don't do that much. I don't even have a telescope. My predictions are based is purely on astrology.
Good. And let's just make this fundamentally clear. We don't have to defend ourselves. All you have to do is look at the sun. It's not in the right position. It doesn't look right. It's the effing sun, guys. It doesn't look right. And Partha has explained how the shrinking of our magnetic shields is causing us to actually see the true position, actually see the true strength of sunlight. And so there is something building up, and it's very short in time. So I got to wrap it up. Partha, thank you so much. You will be, how long will you be in the chat stream? Can you tell us?
Yes, Charles, I can be there for another half an hour, 1 hour.
All right. So Partha will be in the chat stream answering questions, guys. I am signing off now, and I'll be back on in a couple of hours myself, 2 to 3 hours, and then we'll have our 1 p.m. Live stream, and we're going to have answers, and it's not going to be answers that anybody's going to be very thrilled on, but we're going to calm everybody down because this is such a planned event that we can't even imagine how much care has gone into experiencing what we're going to experience. All right, guys. Partha, thank you so much. We'll be talking to you throughout the day, and namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you all, guys, so much for listening and following this thesis. Something's happening, so let's stick together. Think good thoughts, do good deeds, and say good things. All right, guys.